3,700 kgs of explosives, 10 men, and 15 seconds. That's what it would take to turn these nearly 40-story towers into dust on 28th August 2022. But the idea was not to explode the towers. The plan was to make them implode like a house of cards. This meant that the basement would explode first and then the other floors from the bottom up. The Supertech towers in Noida Sector 93 had more than 900 flats in them, but they violated several norms of UP's Apartments Act. Nearly 18 floors on each tower were stuffed with explosives, and the demolition would be carried out by blasting the columns on these floors. It would take 9 to 10 seconds for all the explosives to go off in a series of loud blasts, and another 5 seconds for the buildings to collapse. The engineers behind the demolition were expecting the dust to clear in about 10 minutes. Taller than the Qutub Minar, these would now become the highest structures to be demolished in India. But what about neighboring buildings? The residents there removed all wall hangings, stuffed their clothes inside cupboards, uninstalled their televisions, and tightly shut their windows. The blast was to be carried out at 2:30 p.m. and more than 5,000 residents in the vicinity would have vacated the area by about 7 a.m. Two adjoining societies were covered with a mesh made of galvanized iron and a special fabric that doesn't allow dust to penetrate. The residents could return by 4 p.m. on demolition day. The Noida authority had also arranged parking spaces for 2,500 cars that would need to be moved out of the neighborhood. More than 50 hospital beds had been reserved in case anyone fell ill. Fire tenders and ambulances were on standby, and just 10 workers would remain on site. 2 blasters, 1 project manager, and 7 experts. It would take clearing nearly 1,300 truckloads of debris after the demolition. As for the people who bought houses in these illegal towers, the Supreme Court had ordered them to be refunded and also paid 12% interest from the time of booking. The demolition was supposed to act as a cautionary tale for builders who resort to illegal construction for profits.